Sonia, Mrs. McClain, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you all for being here today to discuss this very important topic. But I think we have to go back to the beginning, and we have to identify the problem before we can really figure out solutions to the problem. So I want to start with you, Dr. Shafik. What is your definition of anti-Semitism?
For me personally, any discrimination against people for their Jewish faith is anti-Semitism.
Okay, I appreciate that. You set up a task force. Do they share that same definition?
Congresswoman, I know the chair of our task force is sitting next to me.
I know, but you're the president. I'd like to hear from you first.
I'm happy to answer the question, but I know he would also
and I'm happy to do that, but I'd like to start with you, since you are the president, right? You own, the buck stops with you, right?
Completely.
Do they share that same definition?
I'm pretty sure that they would share that definition.
Don't you think that would be a pretty important thing to start with?
Yes.
Okay. Are you concerned at all about the article by Sharon Otterman, which indicated that a Columbia University task force set up to combat anti-Semitism on campus in the wake of October 7th Hamas attack is attempting to avoid one of the most contentious issues in universities' debate over the war? Its members, this is, now I don't know if it's true or not, so I'd like to get your take. Its members have refused to settle on what the definition of anti-Semitism is. So, from your opinion, this is an inaccurate article?
Yes, and
okay, thank you.
Professor Shizer would be the best person to give you
I appreciate that.
The details.
So, Professor, thank you. Do you have a definition of anti-Semitism?
Absolutely.
Okay, can you share it with us?
Sure. It's bias against Jewish people, which can manifest as ethnic slurs, stereotyping, Holocaust denial, double standards as applies to Israel, and anti-Semitic tropes.
Wonderful. I appreciate that. So this article is in fact false.
It is inaccurate, yes.
Okay, thank you. I think we need to really take a look at the facts. So now that we have a clear, defined definition of what it is, what I'm curious now is, what are the consequences to one's actions? Ms. Shafik, Dr. Shafik, can you share with us what the consequences are?
The consequences for anti-Semitic behavior.
I'm sorry?
The consequences for anti-Semitic behavior.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So we have, one of the biggest things we focused on is we want to make it easy so that if there is any anti-Semitic incident at Columbia, we know about it immediately. We have QR codes all over the campus.
Okay.
We have a hotline. We have a single
And what
website
is,
for
and that's
reporting.
a great, I'm looking for an answer though.
Yeah.
What are the consequences for anti-Semitic behavior?
Yes. So once we know of an incident, we have investigative capacity. We've invested hugely in expanding that investigative capacity.
Okay.
And depending on the nature of the incident, there are consequences ranging from people being potentially suspended, being forced to get educated and trained about anti-Semitism.
Wonderful. And we've executed those.
So we are executing those, yes.
So my question to you, are mobs shouting from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, or long live the Intifada, are those anti-Semitic comments?
When I hear those terms, I find them very upsetting. And I have heard...
That's a great answer to a question I didn't ask, so let me repeat the question. When mobs or people are shouting from the river to the sea, Palestine must be free, or long live the Intifada, are those anti-Semitic statements? Yes or no? It's not how you feel, it's...
I hear them as such. Some people don't. We have sent a clear message.
So is that yes?
We have sent a clear message to our community.
I'm not asking about the message.
Yeah.
Is that fall under definition of anti-Semitic behavior? Yes or no? Why is it so tough?
Because it's a difficult issue, because
I realize it's a difficult
hear it as
issue,
anti-Semitic,
but here's
other
the
people
problem,
do not.
is when people can't answer a simple question and they have a definition, but then they can't, well, I'm not really sure if that qualifies.
So
I'm asking a simple question. Maybe I should ask your task force. Does that qualify as anti-Semitic behavior, those statements? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Do you agree with your task force?
Yeah, we
So,
agree. The question is
yes,
what.
so the question,
what
so
to do
yes,
about
you
it.
do agree that that is anti-Semitic behavior, and there should be some consequences to that anti-Semitic behavior. We're in agreement, yes?
Yes.
Thank you. I yield my time.